we might as well start with Andrew and what it's like. Been several months in Ann Arbor, and obviously you knew a lot about this program. They told you a lot about this program. What's it been like in that experience and being embraced by this culture?
It's been great. Obviously I was born in Bloomfield Township.
Yep.
Don't remember much though because I moved to Kansas City when I was young, but
Mhm.
it's been great so far. I think coming in early definitely helped getting adjusted and acclimated to everything, especially because I didn't pick up football until I was, much older in my high school career. And so just getting used to how things flow, on the field and off the field, it's been great so far.
Why is it that it took you so long to embrace football? You didn't like contact, or
I was a big basketball player.
Okay.
I did the whole thing, with AAU, camps, all that. I was a big basketball player until my junior year of high school. So, yeah, that was my first love, definitely.
Does that athleticism help you as a tackle?
I would definitely say it does, just with the, footwork and coordination and stuff like that. Say it does, yes, sir.
Greg, what has he brought to this room and seeing him in the last several months? And by the way, Greg Crippen, starting center for Michigan, welcome to the show. But
yeah, appreciate you having me. I think he's done a great job so far. I mean, coming in, and obviously, I think the biggest thing sometimes with younger people, like younger guys coming in here, is just because they don't know the playbook as well, and it's hard to play fast on the field when you don't really know what you're doing. And I think he's done a great job at that, especially through spring ball and just kind of playing, being able to like actually learn technique and getting to that level, because you got to do one thing before you do the other, and that's really good.
talking to people close to the program, they say that you've really put in the time this summer. And what's your goal here? Obviously, you have team goals, but individually, how do you want to elevate your game, and where do you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, the reality last year was, for me personally, was not good enough, and I know that, and I'm improving on everything that I need to improve on, and yeah, I'm very excited. Just put in a lot of work. It's all about football, and becoming the best player I can be for this team, and play football as long as I can.
Andrew, you may be next to Gio on the line. You will be either way. You were last year. Now he moved over to the other side. What have you seen from him, and what is it like playing next to him for both of you guys that often do play next to him?
Yeah, I think with Gio, first and foremost, he's just a leader. Just like Cripp, he pushes the young guys, the older guys. It really doesn't matter if you're an offensive lineman, if you're a DB, it doesn't matter. Gio's going to push you. He's going to, bring the leadership, to really the whole program. So just his leadership, that stood out to me, and, it's great being with him every day.
What was your biggest improvement from week one, would you say, to practice 1 to practice 15 in spring? Where did the game slow down for you?
Yeah, I would say in the middle, really just getting acclimated to the speed of college football.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think, as Cripp said, just when you're a young guy, you try to, your head spinning, and, you're thinking about what's my technique, so what's the play, what's the call here, stuff like that, and so I think really during the middle of spring ball, things just slowed down for me, and I started getting acclimated to the speed of the game more, and, everything started clicking.
Greg, what's it like playing next to Gio?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've been with him for a long time, so it's a great relationship, and just our relationship obviously is great, and being able to communicate. But I think as offensive line as a whole, we've done a really good job. I think better than in the past. Sometimes becoming closer. We've been hanging out a lot with each other and building that great connection. Because Coach Morse says a lot to us, just especially me and Gio, to bring everyone along, and we want to be the best offensive line in the country. So.
Then what do you feel like the benefit for a guy like Gio has been moving back over to the left side of the offensive line?
Just being comfortable. Like, it's like, even like when you're younger, knowing the playbook and stuff like that, is when you're more comfortable at something, you could play faster. Like, the game slows down. Like, everything becomes easier. And for him, I think it seems that's something that he likes.
One of the memories that I have, the lasting memories of that Ohio State game, is the raw emotion that you showed walking off the field. Just talk about remembering that experience last year and what that really meant to you to win down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs, in my career here at Michigan, and things have at times may not panned out the way I wanted to, but overcoming a lot, and just keep pushing, pushing as hard as I can, trying to do the right thing all the time, and I guess that's what I thought came to mind, and I saw my family, my girlfriend, and that made me really happy too. And just just everything you go through sometimes in a moment like that, you kind of reflect on, it's worth it. I'll tell anyone like just keep pushing, and everything will be great.
Did you get pepper sprayed too, or not? Was that part of the emotion? Okay.
No, I was not.
I did.
I was with my family, so
His tears were from the pepper spray. I don't know about yours, but
It was unbelievable. Yeah, it was crazy.
I ever come back and people were like, my eyes. And I'm like, what the heck's going on?
Right. I know. I had no clue what had happened.
yeah.
Andrew, what were your impressions of that Ohio State game? Where were you watching? What were you feeling watching these guys go into enemy territory with no one believing in them and coming out and really bullying them for 60 minutes?
Yeah, I was on my couch watching the game, and obviously, everybody's talking about Ohio State, this great team, best team in the country, Michigan's having a down year, blah blah blah. But I'll just remember watching that video of the guys coming out of the tunnel, you know what I mean, and hoisting the flag up while all the Ohio State fans are spewing stuff at them, and then just really just acting fearless, you know what I mean, and like warriors and going out there, and so. Watching that game, it was unbelievable. Dude, how the offensive line played, how the defense stepped up, how everyone did. So yeah, it was a moment that I'll definitely remember forever.
Cripp, what was that like running out there? I mean, I assume you, like the rest of us, that video comes up on social media like once a day, but you lived it and you were running out there, and that had to feel good knowing that you guys went in there and kicked their ass.
It was awesome. I watched the video. That video was awesome. But just going out of the tunnel, like. They're not nice people.
They're not.
Can you expand on that?
Yeah,
just,
no. I'm not gonna say what they say, but they're not very nice people that over there. But it was super cool just walking out. It just gets you like it's not scary, right? Like it gets you pumped up. You're like, you want to shut them up. So.
And then it's a team sport. Everyone has to do their part and pull their weight. But do you guys feel a little more pressure this year, knowing that you guys can sort of be the engine of wherever this goes?
No, that's what we want, right? We want to be the people. We want to be like our offensive line. We want to be the ones who are looked at like to be the ones who are doing great and stuff like that, and pushing everyone around us and leading the team to wins and stuff like that. And that's what we want, right? And that's how it should be.
Andrew, you're in the mix at left tackle, and a lot of people are saying, hey, he's going to have as good an opportunity as anybody. Have you let that sink in at all? And it's not very often that true freshmen start at tackle at Michigan.
Yeah, I think for me, really just the biggest thing has just been staying level-headed and keeping my head down. You know what I mean? I love going to work with the guys in the room every single day, and I know that no matter what happens, the coaches, they're going to put me in a position to succeed and not to fail. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to, go out in fall camp, compete, so what I can do.
What's it like going against that defensive line? And I would imagine that was kind of an eye-opener.
It definitely was. I mean, in my opinion, we have the best defensive line in the country, and it's not particularly close. You know what I mean? Our edges, our defensive tackles, their size, what they can do, their intelligence. It's a challenge every single day, but at the end of the day, I know it's one that's going to make me better, and as well, it's going to make going up against other teams easier. So it's a blessing to go up against those every day.